Yeah. I don't have any for the class.
It doesn't have to be related to today's anticipated discussion. It could be anything at all, right?
Oh, any.
Your personal problems, whatever you'd like to share with us. I don't have any personal problems, right?
Never.
Ever, right? Nobody wants to share what their personal life is going on, right? That's too bad. I can just start picking names. Sam, let's start with you. Huh?
I just got back from Hawaii.
What was that?
I just got back from Hawaii.
You did, so you're so calm.
Yeah.
How was the trip? Yeah.
I went with 5. It was a bunch of high school friends. We all turned 40, so I ended up going out with 5 families, and I could see why all parents say they need a vacation after a good day.
You were with children.
9 kids.
9 kids. Wow. Well, you've got a very calm personality, Sam. So I'm certain that you manage that very well, right?
Kid in the corner.
In the corner. So, did you meet anybody? That's the real question, Sam.
No, we were too tired. By the end of the day, after the kids went down, we were like, all right, let's meet up for drinks. And we had a couple drinks, and we were like, no, everybody's gonna go back to their room.
Go back to their room.
That was our first trip.
Listen, that's funny. That's what happens, you know. Suddenly, all the friends that you have are getting married and having children. Well, good morning. How are you? Good, thanks. You're just talking about Sam's personal life. We have a volunteer over here. You want to tell us about your personal life, Zach?
No, it's about this. Me and Trill, I guess, received fan mail yesterday.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. I didn't get to see it.
Oh, well, it used the F word in regards to not delivering any more marketing material to their doorstep. I can tell you, you're not the first person that's received things like that. And what I told Trill is, I couldn't be happier to see things like that because I know that you're actually out working. Yeah. But you know what's funny about that? They don't sign their name. They don't tell you who they are. It's like the person behind the keyboard, you know.
There's too much power to one of us.
Well, just calling and say, hey, please don't drop it at my door anymore.
Well, they're gonna get another one on Thursday.
I hope so. And if they see 2 guys that are 6'5" walking up there, they're gonna call you sir, right? That's what I would do. I said, oh, you're the person. I think it was a woman that wrote the response.
Maybe
say, don't effing drop this stuff at my door anymore. God, just nasty people.
Well, they're gonna keep getting them.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Just, realistically, there's nothing they can do unless they have a big dog, right?
Yeah.
I hope you just need to be faster than Shrill.
Your ammo, baby.
Exactly. So that was interesting. Holden gets a lot of material like that. He continues to just drop it at their doors. Actually, what's happened with Holden, we've had other people that have asked him to no longer drop material at their doorstep, and he doesn't. And then somebody else has actually, they've put it inside the wrought iron fence so you can see. They've taken Holden's flyers and they've stuck it in there intentionally and taken pictures of it. So it's kind of funny. Not that Holden's going to violate that, but I enjoyed that whole thing.
Any new rules coming over or not?
Any new rules coming up?
For the MLS or for, because every day.
Yeah, there's always new. One thing that was discussed at the last rules committee, which was very interesting. You probably have noticed that there are listings on the MLS that go from coming soon, or they're just listed and immediately in escrow or closed. So now council and the assistant council are giving consideration to following up on every single transaction where it goes from coming soon to closed within 1 day, or suddenly hitting the market and closed, because they don't believe for one moment that buyers are not visiting the property. You cannot show property in the coming soon status.
But if you already have the buyer and you're.
Yeah, but,
thinking of
but
something-
remember, the clear cooperation policy requires that within 1 day of marketing the property, that you must put it on the MLS in an active status.
Okay.
So the exclusion, how do we divide something that is advertising to the general public versus, so you're not in violation of clear cooperation policy? Or if you have someone or a listing, you can actually, under the same broker's license, disseminate that information to every agent under that same broker's license. Anything outside of that would violate the clear cooperation policy unless you have a disclosure regarding agency relationship form signed before you show or introduce a property to them. But I can assure you that's not taking place. As a matter of fact, at the last Rules Committee meeting, a representative from Laguna Beach Association of Realtors was asking that they allow brokers to be able to contact other brokers to share listings between their offices. Is what they're doing. They are controlling this information, and it's really not benefiting the seller in any way whatsoever. They're trying to control these properties and the listings, not putting it on the MLS, and trying to just keep it between you and I because we're good friends.
That sucks.
So that's going to be interesting. And CRMLS is expressing the willingness to actually contact buyers for every single transaction for a property that goes from just on the market to close or coming soon to just close. So they haven't come to a determination, but that's how much they are ready to proceed in regards to trying to catch people who are violating that guideline, because that's a $2,500 fine. Yeah. And not only that, but once a panel finds somebody in violation of that, they can report these guidelines to the Department of Real Estate, so the implications could be very severe.
Do you think that MLS is going down because everybody, all the agents, are putting things just in Zillow and don't giving a commission or anything to the other ones?
Well, if they remember the MLS, if it's what CRMLS is not doing, they are not enforcing the clear cooperation policy in regards to lease listings. And that's something I've talked to them about, something that has to be reckoned with, as a matter of fact. But if it's a property that's for sale, if you report them, because there's nothing in AI that's going to pick this up, if you report them, it's going to be enforced rigidly in terms of posting it on the MLS. If they're advertising property in some other means in any way whatsoever. What was that?
I've been noticed that the leads that I've been getting for the little listing that I have is Zillow. And
Is it a lease listing?
Is a lease listing?
Yeah. Did you post it in the MLS?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Why are you surprising?
So what I'm surprising is everybody who's contact me by Zillow, and when I try to, of course, they cut. If you answer that lead, you are connected with Zillow. With the directly.
Well, yeah, that's Zillow.
That's
Unfortunately, they're just there to make money off of your listings.
No, exactly. There were 3 of them that I didn't know if they were real leads, but you answer anyway to see.
Why wouldn't you? Yes.
But it's kind of mafia or something in there with this.
Well, the unfortunate part was Zillow. Let's face it, they're using all of our data, all of our energy and work to post our listings on their platform. And then they're marketing, they're allowing other people who are willing to pay to have their picture shown, even though your picture as a listing agent may be shown at the bottom of the posting itself. So it's been a dilemma. It is a real dilemma. Nobody likes it, I can assure you. The only people that like it is Zillow.
Right.
And that unfortunately is the most highly visited real estate website.
All the millennials and everybody.
Yeah. Well, actually, our speakers today were kind enough to bring in breakfast for all of us. So, right?
So I do have paper plates in my car.
Oh, it's okay. We have plates. We have
We do?
paper plates. I'm sure we do, as a matter of fact. Yes,
No, I have some in my car.
it's okay.
Gotta carry backup.
Not a problem. So I don't know, we'll probably just postpone the meeting for about 5 minutes. As a matter of fact, if you're ready, if you'd like to get something to eat, they're kind enough to bring breakfast for us. And it smells like much more than bagels today.
The cookies are.
Good morning.
Are oatmeal coconut gluten free. So if there's any gluten free, there's one pastry for you. And then there's sandwiches and all kinds of things.
All right, so give it 5 minutes and then we'll start the meeting with our guest speakers today, if that's okay. If you have any questions in the meantime, Carmenza, I'm happy to answer them.
I actually was surprised that I received a lead from rent free.
But you did, from Rinse Free.
Rent
I'm
free
gonna grab
is giving
plates.
you,
Okay.
promoting your listing, and I said, oh, okay. But that one, they went to visit this weekend,
I say.
and that was real. But they didn't apply because it didn't match what they did.
I say.
But it was
That's surprising that you got a lead from Rinse Free.
rent free.
Does that mean that the person, the lead actually filed an application with Rent Free and they're now shopping their profile?
Before, I have no idea. I was so surprised.
Hmm.
And
Have you heard of that?
Right.
She received a lead from Rent Free?
If you add the listing to rent free, I think they
Well,
they set
because
up leads.
when you put it on the MLS, you need to put a link if you just
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
receive.
So it probably creates the
Applications.
listings.
Oh,
Right, maybe.
maybe that's what they want. Because I have to go to Rent Spring and say that I have another one, so that people can apply. And that- So they give you a little link that's the one that's copying the MLS.
Right.
That's what I did.
Yeah, when you add the listing though in
I'm sorry.
rent free, it creates a listing. And then it asks you, I think it asks you if you want to let people know about the market or something. There's like.
Yeah, I know the,
So I don't know if people go into rent free for the markings or not.
they,
I was surprised. And that was a real one, because they went to bring this
I buy her twice a day.
Great, thank you.
Oh.
I can't get this off my mind, it's okay. With that. We have Carmel Monger and Brian Morrison. They'll be sharing their expertise and walking us through the inspection process. So we're going to be limiting it to 11 o'clock today. We have planned for more time, but let's begin.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. I am Carmel. This is Brian Morrison. He is one of our senior inspectors. We're both with HomeGuard Incorporated, and we do inspections. We do home, we do termite, roof, pool, and sewer lateral inspections. And today we're going to share, so Brian's going to share a little bit about the inspection process, answer any questions you have, how to prepare your client, a little bit about our reports.
Yeah, I'll touch on a little bit of everything.
And I'm going to share very quickly, like a high level overview about HomeGuard. So just
Yeah, can you turn the volume down on that? All the way down. That's up. There you go.
Okay. So well, all of this. So this is our interactive summary. This is supplemental to your written report. So this comes with your written reports and it's going to highlight all of your section one.
What are we hearing?
I don't know why it's.
Zoom doesn't allow you to go all the way down to volume when you're.
Oh,
It does. It's just.
You can,
go ahead.
Right, okay, that's true.
mute, yeah.
Oh. Can you mute me?
It's gonna go right back down.
Can you mute every? Oh,
It's just on this device.
no. No echo?
No.
Oh.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so essentially, this is going to have all of your reports because we do home, termite, pool, sewer lateral, roof, which you can have all the inspectors there at the same time, which people love, and it's one phone call to order those inspections. We have taken all of the immediate action items and placed them here so that you guys don't have to jump from email to email, report to report, to compile your request for repairs or to go over it with your client. And Brian, you can probably go over
Yeah,
what you do on site a little bit if you want to jump in.
absolutely. So yeah, when we're coming out to do the inspections, we're providing all the inspections, and this is basically just a collective. We turn it sideways for me, yeah. This button here is going to bring up, can you touch that button and see if it'll bring up? Yeah, so when you hit this button on the red reports and documents, it's where everything's going to be stored. You're going to have your interactive summary, which is going to be this. You've got your home inspection report, termite, roof, sewer inspection report, your NHID, and your repair price list as well. We do offer an estimator along with the reports upon request. And if you'll touch the home inspection report, Carmel, for me, and then just kind of we'll get rid of the schedule advice there. This is an area where you can always reach out to HomeGuard. We have staff on hand to answer any questions and assist in any areas you guys may need. Go ahead and scroll to the photos in the home report. This is a home report here, and right here. So this is going to be the price estimator. These bottom lines underneath our photos here. Each call will have its description and a photo, and all of the photos are linked. So all you have to do is touch the link. You don't have to go searching for the photos, scrolling through the reports. It's kind of nice. And then you're going to get an estimated repair cost, which is just a national average repair, kind of a collective repair. Just gives you guys more information on how to negotiate and give you a little more power there. But we do offer that, but it is upon request. So if you guys are looking for something like that, we can offer that. Like I said, at request. If you want to exit back out of that and go back to the home, to the main screen. So our interactive summary, like I was saying before, this is just a collection of the termite, home, sewer, roof, everything's in kind of one report. And each one of these bubbles are going to be coordinated up here. Each one of them is going to have a photo. Some of them will have videos. A lot of these, if you touch these, they'll go to a video. And you kind of have to, let me.
I'll show you one. Here you go.
There you go. So as we scroll down this side, we'll have the reports, and then there'll be a video linked. This is going to be one of the rooftop, obviously, videos. He's probably going to point out that exposed fastener there, but
So because my volume's down, you can't hear the
you can't hear it on
inspector.
the video.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can already tell that's probably what he's identifying.
Yeah,
It's just an exposed nail on the rooftop. He'll recommend to reseal it. But all of that information is going to be in there. And this whole thing, I'm actually a little bit new to it myself. And I'm realizing how much easier this is making everything for you guys on your end. Just having everything collected, like she was saying, having the termite, roof, sewer, home inspection reports all to kind of combine together. You don't have to go searching through everything, and they do help out a lot. You've got your live now chat box there. You can reach out to one of the staff members in HomeGuard to answer any questions or assist with any situation you got going on. And then we also have, you can have a Zoom meeting also with our staff as well if you want to go that route. But basically, it's just a collective, and we are putting videos in all of the reports. A lot of the reports, when I'm doing the home inspection reports, I do the videos. I identify the utility location shutoffs for the customers or for the buyers. And I'll also, if there's any elevated, like let's say a roof leak or something that's a little elevated, I'll take a video of that and explain in detail, just so it's really clear, crystal clear for the buyer exactly what's going on, where it's going on, and what it looks like when we were there at the inspection. So there's no question. You know, a lot of times your buyer's like, oh, well, what did he see? You know, the picture doesn't show that much. Well, these videos really help that a lot, tremendously. I'm getting a lot of really good feedback from agents on the videos and just explanation to their clients, and bringing the clients up to speed on what's going on.
Can I jump in, Brian?
Absolutely.
So one thing that is unique to this interactive summary is, like, for example, the roof. How many reports does the roof show up on? Does anyone know? Show of hands? It shows up on 3. It shows up on the home, shows up on the roof, and it shows up on termite. So instead of having to jump from report to report, you can click all and you'll have all of those immediate action items. When Brian's on site, you're cross-trained in.
Yes, I'm cross-trained in everything except for termite. I'm not legally trained in termite, but I know it like the back of my hand because I'm hand in hand with the termite guys every day.
So sometimes there's 4 inspectors on site.
Yeah, sometimes we'll have the roof inspector, we'll have the home inspector, the termite inspector, the sewer, whatever we're doing, all of those inspectors will be on site. That's probably the greatest thing about HomeGuard, in my opinion, is it's a one-call, one-stop shop. You make one phone call, one text to Carmel, we also have an app that you can order from, one single motion across the board. You're getting all your inspections done. And we do offer the VIP packages where you can save money in getting a bundle package. You can get your roof inspection, your termite inspection, or your home and termite, and you can get a free roof inspection or a free pool inspection or a free sewer inspection. Along with those, we do offer package deals, and our prices are extremely competitive, as you guys will see once you see our sheet. You'll see that the prices are very competitive on what we're offering. And of course, all of the videos come through in the reports. This whole thing that she's talking about, and this thing that HomeGuard is bringing into play here, it's really neat, just the interactive. And each one of the bubbles, you've got everything. You've got home under number 1. You can see it's highlighted there. You've got all your inspections listed here. And all of the bubbles are going to be areas where they've taken a photo or identified an issue.
And once you've looked at one, if you notice, they will turn blue. So you know that you've already reviewed it or your client's reviewed it. This is a great tool if you're jumping on Zoom with your client or your client's not computer savvy and you don't want to print 90 pages of reports to go through with your client. You can bring your computer, right? Meet them somewhere and you can just go through it with them. So, all right, let's talk about the roof. So it organizes everything for you. And it outlines what they need to know. These are need to know items. Sometimes they're action items. Sometimes it's just a simple heads up. That sidewalk's a little uneven. Don't let grandma walk on it alone, right? Or maybe you do want it repaired. So, Brian, can you talk a little bit about the inspection process and when you get through with your inspection, how you review these items already so they know these are coming?
So we definitely, obviously, we do the inspection on site if your clients are available, which we recommend for them to come at least at the end of the inspection so that we can do a verbal summary with them. We offer a summary for every inspection. And that way the inspector can just kind of convey the information to the buyer in a way where it's not a tangled mess for you guys. It's coming directly from the horse's mouth, and we can kind of get that information across in a safe way without kind of scaring them and bringing them up to speed. So we definitely do the summaries, and we'll walk the property with them, show them each individual thing in a kind of a typical thing, but we definitely do the summaries, answer any questions they might have. And all of our reports, all of our 8:30 and 10:30 reports go out same day, no matter what, unless there's some sort of major issue or something, but that's pretty rare. I myself, we have 4 appointment times. We have the 8:30, 10:30. We also have 1 and 3 p.m. Appointment times. Of course, we can play with those numbers, but those are our kind of average times laid out. On those afternoon reports, I can also get those out same day. I know a lot of inspectors in the afternoon, you have a 3 o'clock appointment. You know, you're not going to see that report for a couple of days. Mine always go out same day. It just kind of helps out. I try to help you guys out in that area, but
You work the weekends?
yes, we do. We offer Saturdays. We are not open on Sundays, but Saturdays are definitely an option. We're open every Saturday. So we can definitely accommodate weekends for you guys or for clients that can't get to the weekday appointments. But I definitely recommend having your clients there. You guys are probably pretty aware. Having them talk to the inspector is kind of a key thing. Or even a phone call afterwards or a Zoom phone call or FaceTime. Just kind of helps out, kind of takes it off of your plate. This interactive summary is really neat, though. I really see the benefit in this for you guys because of the accumulation of the reports. Like she was saying, you've got everything all in one spot. You've got all your reports. You can drop down and pull up each report. Everything is there. You know, it makes it super simple for your clients to see everything, all the reports. Everything combined together in one is kind of nice. So everything is just conveyed in kind of one thing.
So this doesn't replace your written report. This doesn't replace the report that goes into your file. The one that's
In addition,
submitted. This is to help you dial down. We're doing a little bit of homework for you. Dial down those requests for repairs. We do bid on roof, termite, and sewer lateral. And that's a great feature because we allow you and your client to bill through escrow. So let's say the seller, they don't have the money, all their money is tied up in their home, and the buyer wants it done before they move in. They want it done by a reputable, licensed general contractor, certified roofer, certified termite company, someone who's certified in sewer lateral, and they want to know who's doing the work. This is great. So the seller can bill it through escrow. Your client moves in, they know who to call if, God forbid, something's not perfect or goes wrong. We guarantee all of our work, we warranty all of our work. And with that said, I have a question. Does anyone know what it takes to become an inspector, a home inspector? He's so good, I trained him. Anybody?
Don't look at me.
Richard. So you have to have a pulse and you can't be in prison that day. So there's no qualifications. You guys, if it's real estate doesn't work out, you can become home inspectors the next day, but we have a different standard. So we do require our inspectors not only to be background checked, drug tested, but certified by the highest certification in the United States, the certification that, and the standard that courts use and the DRE uses, FAR both use to determine whether something is done correctly, right? Or inspected correctly. And you want to talk about that certification?
yes, all of our inspectors are ASHI certified, which is the governing agency. And you guys may have heard of them. Most people have. American Standard of Home Inspection Practices. They're just the governing agency that oversees nationally all of the home inspections. State by state, it's different. Some states require a license, some don't. California does not. So like she said, anybody could really become a home inspector if you just chose to. You can be up and running. You do have to have credentials. You do have to have a little bit of knowledge, but you could get by with fairly minimal. Most of our inspectors are all from the field. Like myself, I spent 33 years building homes for the same company. And when COVID hit, I changed into inspections. So my background is pretty extensive as far as my knowledge, but all of our inspectors are ASHI certified. All of them have to take and pass the NHIE, which is the National Home Inspectors Exam. Very difficult. I think I'm the only person in the entire company that passed it the first time. Everybody has taken it at least 3 times before they pass it. It's very difficult. So the standards for HomeGuard and the inspectors for HomeGuard are very high. We don't just settle for anybody can be an inspector. We all are certified, cross-trained.
How
And
many
we are-
inspections do you have to do to get certified? You know,
I think it is 1,500.
so to be with HomeGuard, to be allowed without a senior inspector, you do have to complete 250 home inspections.
250 to be on your own.
And once you complete 250, you can apply to become a member of ASHI, and then you have to move forward with, I didn't know it was 1,500, but many more inspections to become certified. So these are, you know, Brian's definitely a head inspector, a senior inspector, but I have gone to so many inspections, popped by, done the after review with them, and they are all wonderful. And it's funny because people go, well, if I like somebody, can I request that they're always my inspector? And I'm like, 100%. Every time, the first time client, every single inspector, doesn't matter what their name is, they're like, I love him. Can he always be my inspector? It's
get
like
a lot.
that, right? They're great guys.
Yeah, you can always request.
So does this mean you're gonna call out every single little thing that you find?
Well,
So
Because sometimes that could be annoying where the client's like,
when I do my
things
inspections, I'm gonna
wrong
be
with it.
perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
When I do my inspections, I read I base everything based on that. I read the client, I read the agent, I read the property. And I move based on those assessments of what I'm getting. I know some people aren't looking for scratch on baseboard and loose doorknobs. They want to see foundation, roof, the meat and potatoes of the property, the big 5, the HVAC, electrical, plumbing, roof, foundation. That's what most people are concerned about. And, you know, as they should be. A lot of people do not care. A lot of people are flipping houses. A lot of people are just going to come in. They're going to gut the bathrooms and kitchens. They don't care that the counters and stuff are scratched up or broken tiles. They absolutely don't care. So when I read those people like that, and I'll talk to them and confirm all that, but all that kind of stuff, I'll put in the report, in the back of the report, kind of small, so it's there if you need it. And I can work with my reports as well. Obviously, we're there to be an unbiased party between the buyer and seller. We're not trying to favor anybody or work any deals or you know, move things around for anybody. The property is what it is, and that dictates what the inspection is. I've heard agents say to me, you've ruined my sale. No, I didn't. The property ruined your sale. The condition of the property is the condition of the property. We will report the condition of the property, but like I said, all those little things, and I explain to the people when I'm there, when I'm doing my summary, I'm like, look, these are the little things that every house has. You're not gonna find a house that doesn't have a loose doorknob or a scratch on the baseboard, even a brand new track home, you know, brand new build. It's all the same stuff. So I do and I don't, depending on what I'm getting. I know some things are more important to people, and I try to put that and focus that on the report, kind of tailored to each person. But across the board, I do try to put all the little information in there, but the picture items is what everybody looks at. All of our reports are the pictures up top and all the information below. You guys know, most people only look at the pictures in the reports. Most people don't read the reports. Very rare do you see somebody reading each line item in a report. That's pretty rare. I don't even read the fine items. But we will make it simple, and we will convey all that information, especially in a summary. That's the best thing about the summary, is we can kind of get all of that groundwork done and get everything established with the buyer, and just kind of have them understand the property really well. Like she was saying about the certifications, all of our inspectors are nationally certified ASHI and NHIE exam passers. They're all FAA licensed pilots. We all are UAV licensed pilots for the drones to do the roof inspections. All of our home inspectors and roof inspectors. As far as the sewer inspections go, all of our sewer inspectors are NASCO certified, which is the national, the governing agency. It's the National Association of Sewer, NASCO, sewer companies.
that's what a sewer lateral is, and why it's important to have it inspected. Anybody? Shy.
The sewer lateral on a property is just as important as the roof. And a lot of people don't realize that. And because it's underground, it's out of sight, out of mind. It's something that's never touched
What
or
is
talked
a
about.
sewer?
And a sewer, exactly. A sewer lateral is basically your main pipe that connects the structure to the city runoff, to the city drain. Not, that doesn't include all the plumbing in the walls, you know, that runs from the kitchen to the bathroom and it's in throughout the house. That is from the exterior of the house, right at the front wall, maybe a foot outside of the structure. From that point out to the middle of the street, that is your sewer lateral from those 2 points. So city to structure. And we're all, like I said, NASCO certified, will all come in. We do the reports, we run a camera down there. All of our sewer inspections, the videos are included. We make a video of the entire pipe so that your clients and yourselves can see the entire thing. And obviously all the information is in there. Typically with sewer lines, 9 out of 10 of them are fine. Might find some roots and a little bit of sludge that just needs to be pressure washed out. But there are the ones, especially on a little bit older properties, where they're collapsed or completely they're not at service. They're not working at all. All of the runoff water, wastewater is just spilling into the earth in their front yard and they don't even know.
Have you ever driven down a street? And every house has like nice front yard, and then you come to this house that has a meadow. It's just lush. It is overgrown. It's plants everywhere. It's very possible that when they flush their toilet, they are fertilizing their garden.
Yeah.
And that might be fine to the man of the land, but if you've got children or dogs or animals, or you care about cleanliness, you probably don't want your sewage in your front yard. And a lot of times they get cracked because the roots of a tree.
Earthquakes and roots are the biggest issues with sewer lines. Newer homes have plastic lines. They tend not to break and have issues. Older ones with the cast iron and clay lines, they tend to have issues, almost every one of them.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
To wrap it up, what do you think is most important for them to know about preparing their client for a home inspection, both on the buy and sell side?
For the sell side, just having things accessible for us. If there's, you got your teenage son's upstairs with his locked room, we can't get in there. Obviously, that's an area that we can't report on. So just having areas like that. Sometimes people will have their garages and electrical panels with padlocks on them and stuff. We can't access those areas. So just getting that information out to the selling party is a good idea. And then on the buying party, just having your client just being present, I think, is probably the most important thing. They don't have to be there the entire time. It's just a recommendation, but it is a good idea to have them there so that we can kind of drive through the inspection and get all the information across to your clients. We do it very professionally. We show up all in company clothes, nice shirts, marked vans, logos everywhere. So very professional looking. We're not, your mom and pop shop where we can show up in the van and a couple guys get out in their dirty shirts. Very professional looking, and we act accordingly.
How much insurance do we have?
I believe it's 10 million.
$10 million in E&O, which brokers love, because if something is wrong, instead of coming after you and your company and your brokerage, they can talk to us, and we have no problem coming back out.
Absolutely. We return to properties pretty regularly. Like I was saying, on the ones where we can't get into someplace, if there's a locked garage or too much storage in an area, we will offer a 90-day grace period where we will return to the property for no charge and reinspect areas that we couldn't get into. Or areas that have been repaired. We'll do re-inspections as well. If we do re-inspections for somebody else's work, we'll charge $125 per inspection, just for our time coming out. But if we did it, or if we're going back for our own reasons or something that we couldn't get into, those are free.
And we do certify it for roof, termite,
sewer, termite, and roof. Obviously the termite's the important one, but you can get the cert for that as well through us, the final for that.
Anything about termite you want to share directly, because it's such an important one?
You guys probably know this area is termite heaven. All of Orange County, when I was a little kid, pretty much was orange groves, this area, all of Irvine, Turtle Rock, it was all orange groves. So all those roots are still in the ground. It's just munchies for the termites. That's why Southern California, and plus the moisture and the air conditions, it's just a heaven and breeding grounds for termites. So these areas are pretty riddled with termites. Our termite inspectors are extremely thorough, sometimes a little more thorough than people like. But we are finding the information for those buyers that truly do want to know what they're buying and what the condition of the property is without any beating around the bush or hiding anything. Our termite guys are excellent. They go above and beyond. When I work with outside termite guys where, you know, a different termite company's on site while I'm doing the inspection, I see the difference between them and our guys. It's like night and day. Our guys are turning stuff over, looking underneath, opening stuff up, and the other guys just walking right by it. And I'm looking at the damage that they're walking by. So our guys are very thorough. Obviously, they're all licensed and legal, ready to go.
We also,
Go ahead.
also a general contractor, so we have other options than fumigation. So if a particular termite eats a certain type of wood and a pillar outside the house is made of that wood and they're coming and feeding, they don't live in the wood, they're never going to enter the house, our inspectors will identify that that termite is not a threat to the home, it's not a threat to other types of wood on the property, it's solely a threat to these pillars. We will recommend just cutting out that wood and replacing it with a different wood. No fumigation, 2 days worth of work, low cost, and it's done. So there's a lot of things that we can do that traditional termite companies don't think of and can't do.
Correct. I know a lot of them do repairs, but we also, like she said, are a general contractor license, and we do all of our own repairs in-house, which is kind of nice. Just having everything in-house is kind of nice for everybody involved, I think. But I think that kind of buttons it up for the interactive summary. Just kind of touching on it again. All of the bubbles, obviously, you guys can look at all of the pictures, a combined report. You've got everything right here. You can get your client onto this. They can look at all the termite reports reports combined. They can see termite home, roof, sewer, lateral individually. You can bring up individual reports here. So it's just an accumulation of everything together. And then this here so that they can just make it easy to see. Yes.
I have a question. So I have someone doing a roof next to my neighbor. And can you please explain what's the difference between the warranty and that I cannot give you certificate?
I didn't understand your question.
So when you just mentioned you give certificate when you do the roof,
Correct.
right? So what's the difference between warranty to fix the roof and certification?
Sometimes certifications are required, whether it be from the lender. There's reasons for the certification. If that does come up and it's required, we can offer that. It's the same thing as a termite certification. It just gives that clearance that the roof is good. Any repairs have been done properly. Everything's up to speed and there's no issues. So we can verify that and certify it based on that.
But why, I'm wondering why this person, he's a contractor and like this license, why do you want to give certification if this is something required?
Why
Yeah.
he doesn't want to give a certification?
He doesn't do certification.
Because he's not a certified roofer.
Yeah.
Oh.
So just a general contractor is different than a certified.
Yeah, we're both. So we can do both. Yeah, like she said, a general contractor cannot give you a certification. Only a certified roof company can.
So they're gonna say that it's a water shedding roof, right? And then our E&O insurance is gonna back that. It's possible that that general contractor doesn't carry enough insurance as well. So a lot of inspectors don't carry insurance. So it comes back to you and then subsequently your company's E&O insurance, and that it's very detrimental and very distressing if you have to go through a DRE trial or even one.
Yeah, there's as far as payments and everything, same day payments. If we're on site and whether your clients are there or not, they pay through a link phone or they pay us in person on site. There is a discount for same day payments.
And you can bill everything through escrow. I see a question. I see
Question for
Ian.
you.
Go ahead, Ben.
So, you do the inspection and you give to the clients a link of that or print out inspection?
It's a link. So they'll get this, you'll have access to this. And is it in our app? Do they have access? It's just its own entity.
So if you get an email, it's like your reports are ready. Sometimes it'll just be one of like the 3 reports. So as soon as we get a report in, it's been checked over, ready to send, we send it, we add it to the interactive summary. And then as the subsequent reports come through, we add it to the interactive summary, and then we store your PDF versions, which are all interactive. They're hyperlinked, super beautiful reports, very traditional, but easy to read. They all live here as well. So instead of jumping from email, before we sent an email for termite, like you would get 4 different emails and the client's having to jump and download. You know, you can still print these if you like to do the old fashioned highlighting, whatever you like, we have it here. This is really just a great tool for you and your client. We also have a PDF version if you choose to use it, so you can put it in your file.
So Brian, the sewer lateral,
Yes, sir.
where does the camera begin? Because does that include the lines going from the toilets to the lateral?
It depends on the location of the access. So typically it's, the pipe out front, whether it's at the front wall side of the house, that's typical. So we're going to be seeing, which the pipe will dictate. We'll be seeing from there, typically under the house, then back out through the front, under the driveway, sometimes out in the street, through the front
But if
yard.
there's a blockage between the, for example, the toilets and the main sewer.
Correct.
That's something that's not going to be investigated.
That is something that's exactly what we're gonna see. So anything in between a toilet and
You're going to do
that,
all of that.
we're gonna do all of that. So we can try to go upstream, downstream. The pipes dictate, obviously, and pipes are directional. They'll tell us, they'll have a curve in them, which will only allow a camera to go one way. You can't hook back around and go the other way. So the pipes dictate a lot. But what we do offer also is toilet removal. So we can remove a toilet and go down right from the toilet and get in and see the entire thing 100%. Typically, it's going to be from the exterior of the building. So from the exterior of the building to the toilet, that 10 feet or whatever might not check.
And that's a clean out, right?
But that's going in through the clean out. If we go in through the toilet, obviously we'll see everything. And houses, it's about a 50-50. About half of them we have to go through the toilet, but depending on the age, anything like maybe 85 and newer, 88 and newer will usually have a clean out. Anything prior to that typically doesn't.
I do want to say something new and great is we used to charge what, like $3.50 to remove a toilet on top of our fee. Now we'll do it for free, and then I don't know the technical terms, but when they put the toilet back, you guys put a new.
Yeah, when we pull a toilet, that's one concern a lot of people have is if we walk away, it's no, we're gonna put in new lines, new wax ring, all new everything to make sure we don't want those back as well.
So what do you think the age of the home would be between difference between metal piping and plastic piping?
Right around between 85 and 88 is when ABS and PVC started being used pretty heavily, predominantly. Anything prior to that is going to be mostly clay, typically. A lot of Irvine, you guys know how Irvine is, a lot of the mid 80s and late 70s builds. A lot of these ones out here, what's the community around the lake? I can't remember.
Woodbridge.
Woodbridge. That is like 90% plastic and that fits those ages. So it's kind of hit and miss. So some of them, I've even seen like 1960s homes with all plastic pipe that was done that way from the build, which is rare. It's pretty rare. Usually it's cast iron and clay. And if we do see cast iron and clay, just part of the sewer governing agency, what we're directed to do. If we do see clay and cast iron pipes, we just identify those in the report as folder lines. Plastic piping, newer homes, like just in the drain lines, they've gone through metal and clay piping and now they just use plastic and everything because it's a better material, doesn't crack. It's a lot more difficult for roots to get into it. They're easy to clean.
And the clay can collapse.
Yeah,
The clay- I just did one not too long ago. It was in Pomona, and the entire clay line had collapsed where it was not servicing at all, and it was 100% under concrete. It was going to be an expensive replacement. I was trying to convince them to abandon it and just run a new one. It would be half the price, but they wanted they wanted to do it that way. But
So a recommendation, if pre-1984 home, and if you're doing the sewer lateral and it's not plastic, most likely all the other leads coming into that are not plastic. So there's a good possibility that they could be defective, right?
could possibly
Deteriorate over time.
Yeah.
And so we'd want to inspect that area.
Yeah, any area that we can't get into that's part of the sewer lateral, we'll recommend for a plumber to come in and finish anything else they want to investigate or go for.
Is that something you do? Is that-
It is not. We only provide the sewer lateral. We have certain equipment and we're licensed for certain things, and the sewer lateral through NASCO is what we're licensed to do. We are plumbers, we are licensed plumbers. We could go in, but that's not what we do. We tend to stick to the sewer lateral because that's the service pipe for the problem. Anything else would be considered like internal in the walls and stuff would be considered a plumbing kind of a situation, not necessarily an inspection.
Which is home, and legally in the state of California, your home inspector cannot do work on items that only show up on a home inspection report. So it has to show up, if it's on the roof, it has to show up on the roof report. So, if you have a home inspector that's offering to do work, he is not insured, he is not worthy of doing
Well, by
work on
law,
that.
a home inspector is not supposed to do any
Right.
work for any client. Yeah,
Yeah.
anything at all for 1 year. That's the rule. After the year's up and they call the inspector and say, hey, you said you used to be a door hanger and I need a new door. It's open after a year legally. We don't do that. Conflict of interest, obvious reasons, but it is legal.
Unlike a termite inspection.
Yeah.
Well, they're certified for termite, right?
No
So,
license. It's a difference certification.
yeah, they're licensed, exactly. She has a question.
Zero question confusing. I mean, see, if you have to inspect a condo with common walls or common roof, the
Right.
HOA is the one who's supposed to be taking care of that. Do you have to do some recommendation or something if you find something on the roof or not?
We'll treat it just like anything else. So if we're in a condo, common walls on both sides, and we've got, a situation that might be affecting 2 units or just the 1 unit, that'll all go in the report just like a normal single family home. And then what you would do at that point is just extend that information to the HOA or to the governing agency who's responsible for those areas, which obviously is typically the HOA. But that's what we'll do in those cases. It'll all go into the report just like normal. But we'll just convey to the buyer and to the agent that this is not the buyer's responsibility. We recommend to just push this information over. That way it gets dealt with. We don't want to just be like, oh, pretend we didn't see it because it's not, governed or it's not under the jurisdiction of the home buyer. They're still going to want that information. So we'll still provide that information. And like I said, we'll just explain that it's not their responsibility.
Even if it's water in between the walls?
Yeah, if it's in between the walls, well, every HOA is a little bit different. Some will take up stuff like that if it's in between or certain areas, and other HOAs are like, nope, it's inside, it's you. So it really just depends on the HOA, but we will identify any issues if there's a leak in the walls or anything going on, outside, inside. We still inspect the exterior unless requested not to. Sometimes agents don't want us to look at the outside of condos or, apartments, just common areas, and we won't. But usually we do. We'll treat it just like any other property. And then, like I said, just recommend to push the information upward.
And if there's something that your client doesn't want inspected, let's say there's a shed on the property that is going to be removed, or they're going to have it removed and non-issue, we don't, you guys are the boss. We are a yes company. So if you say, don't do the deck, they're gonna demo it. We don't have to do the deck.
We'll do
So-
whatever you guys request.
Right.
whether it's inspect something extra or not inspect something.
And a lot of times agents have clients call me directly to ask questions. And then I can help them navigate what inspections they should order. And it's different, you know, on the sell side, we have clients who want to have a pre-listing inspection. With that, sometimes I won't recommend things that I don't think the buy side is going to order, because it's, you know, the fiduciary duty is to different clients, right? So if you want control of your listing, your client doesn't want to negotiate, they want to be able to choose their vendor, possibly bill it through escrow if they choose to take our bid. It's not a bad idea. Do you have anything to say, Richard?
No, I'm just listening.
Also, as far as billing and payments, we're able to bill through escrow as well.
For everything, yeah.
For you guys.
Yeah, for the inspections, for everything. And people like to go, well, what if it doesn't close? It's like,
That's a good question. What if it doesn't?
yeah. We'll find you. No, I'm kidding. No,
We still did the work.
like anything, right?
So who's responsible if it doesn't close?
Whoever ordered the repairs or the inspection. So let's say the buy side ordered the inspections and the seller ordered repairs through us and it doesn't close. The seller's responsible to pay us for the repairs and the buyer's responsible for the $500 or whatever it was for the
So if the
inspection.
agent orders the repairs on behalf of the principal.
If they do and they choose not to give us their client's name, phone number, and email address, those are the three things we have to have. If you choose not to give those to us, which is fine, that's up to you, then yes, the bill will come to the agent. And it will be this address if it was one of you. But it's not an aggressive thing. It's very
No, they
much,
should be paying. I just want to, so everybody understands exactly what the procedure is. I think that's.
right. It is, so I have some clients who don't ever give me their buyer's information and they actually pay for their buyer's
So
inspection.
another thing, you made the inspection and they follow escrow. The inspection, another client comes, we open escrow again. If we use your report, it will be double pay or how it works, or we can use the same report or you can reinforce the report. Or
If
something.
let's say the seller is in contact with, the seller's agent's in contact with the buyer's agent and says, hey, we're gonna use this report. Yeah, of course, if the seller has it and they give it to you and your client goes, great, let's move forward, then no, there's no double cost. So
Remember, the seller has an obligation contractually, even
to
following
disclose everything.
transactions to provide those reports that we're obtaining.
Yeah, so I had a client the other day who an inspection had been done within a year. She wanted her client to order, this is a multi-million-dollar property in Laguna Beach. She wanted her client to do another inspection. And he's like, what? I'm taking it as is, I'm not planning to negotiate. I saw the report, I'm good. And so she called me and canceled, which is fine. There's no penalty for canceling. You can always order, get your place in line and then cancel if you need to. But she advised him it was her duty as the agent. You know, what is your duty as an agent on either side of a transaction? It is to protect your client. So it was in the best interest of the client, but he didn't want it. So she canceled and no big deal, right? But
So your fee schedule,
yeah, so as Brian mentioned, we do give one free report when you order a home inspection. So with the home inspection, you can have a free pool, a free sewer lateral, a free roof, or a free termite. Termite's only $45. So I always say take the roof or sewer lateral or pool if they have it, because those are $205. And then every add-on, you get a discount of down to $205. If you just call me and say, I need to order just a roof, it's $245. The typical home inspection, it is based on square footage unless it's a condo or townhome. Anything under 2,500 square feet for a condo or townhomes, $405 when paid at time. And then with single family homes, it is based on square footage. It starts at 1,500 and over or under, and it's between 405 and it goes up to, I think, yeah, it depends. If you go past like 4,500 square feet, we'll have to bid. Sometimes if there's an additional structure like an ADU, depending on the overall square footage, we may add $100 for the ADU, but our prices are so reasonable. If we do have to submit a bid for roof termite or sewer lateral and your client uses us, we waive the cost of the repairs. If the seller is paying for the repairs, your buyer paid for the inspection, we will still refund your buyer. Your seller won't get that credit. So we always make sure it's fair. And just so you know, I did just have a client call me and say, oh my gosh, the seller wants a second termite inspection. They don't like your inspection in your bid. And I said, okay, well, that's their right. And so then he called me back and he said, oh, great news. So the other termite company came out, found exactly the same issues. I'm like, great, we're both honest companies, which is rare, but that was good to hear. And he goes, but you guys are $2,000 less, so the seller does want to use you. So, you know, just so you know, we aren't the cheapest, but we are certainly not the most expensive.
One thing I'll say about our repairs, a lot of people, when they see a higher price with HomeGuard, they're like, oh, well, it's more expensive than the last guy or last bid or somebody I know. HomeGuard does not halfway anything. We only will repair something properly. Meaning if it needs to be replaced, we replace it. We won't patch something that needs to be fully replaced, where a lot of termite companies will just patch it. So if our price is a little higher than somebody else's, that's typically why, because they do things the right way.
But we're also creative because we're general contractors.
Correct.
So we do have cheaper options in tenting sometimes, or just putting some fumigation on a piece of wood and then it falling, you know, like outdoor steps, you could step on it and then like just fall through, and the seller's gonna be like, just treat it. And it's like, no, replace that piece of wood, right? So we do look out for you and your client, because at the end of the day, when your client moves in, they blame you guys for everything, right? The first person they're calling is you. And we don't want you to take the fall. We want you to have a great company to redirect them to, and us to solve the problem. And the most important thing is that we don't want that to happen. We want them to move in and be like, okay, everything was disclosed. I know what I was getting. It's a great property. My realtor did such a wonderful job. Love the companies that they recommended. And when they're sitting around at dinner with friends and someone's talking about their horrible realtor, they jump in and say, oh my gosh, like, you got to use John because he is so good. He forced us to order this, and that report. And, you know, we got X amount of credit and we just love him in our house. I had a realtor the other day go, oh, you guys do pool? And I said, yeah. She goes, me and my husband just bought a home and I wish we would have done a pool inspection. We got in there and the client said, well, we don't use the pool. It was just for the grandkids. We haven't used it in a year. So they're disclosing they haven't turned it on. Their saltwater filter didn't work. It was a $10,000 fix. So these are things that like people don't want to hear, but then they love you once it's taken care of and dealt with properly. Any other questions?
So ordering online, contacting you.
Yes, thank you. That's a great question. So you can text me directly or call me directly, or you can call our 855 number. You can also go to the website and submit it online if it's after hours and you want to just make sure that you're like in the queue to get a certain appointment. If you have a really short contingency period or you are very specific that it's a certain day and time, call me directly, because I'm a little bit of a fireball and I know some people. So we can try to get you guys in, but you can also download the app. The app is not my favorite thing right now. So it's great in Northern California. They haven't fully worked it out in Southern California because it's trying to navigate like multiple inspectors at one time, and it's not doing a great job at that. So call me, text me, call the 855, go online, whatever you're comfortable with. If you aren't really comfortable talking about inspections with your client, give your client my phone number. I love talking, especially like first time home buyers. They have no clue. And they're the ones paying for it. So I have no problem. You know, you guys do your job selling the house. I do my job selling the inspections. So
It's HomeGuard.com, right?
HomeGuard.com. Yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, let's say Brian comes out, he does your home inspection. Love Brian. Everyone loves Brian. Every time I have some clients that use this 30, 40 times a month, and they're always like, okay, well, you gotta give me Brian. I'm like, Brian's your full-time like employee. Like, Brian works for you, brother. But you know, you can always let me know. That was great. Or I've only seen wonderful inspectors. They all have great bedside manners. They'll say to your client, this is an easy fix. I'm not allowed to do the work, but I would just go over there and screw it in. Like, you don't even need a contractor to do that, or just trim those bushes back by 3 feet. It will be fire safe. They're very good at keeping mellow things mellow and keeping big things mellow, and just let's move forward. Let's get this done. Like I said, we built through escrow. We want it to close too, but
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Did everybody turn their cards in for the drawing? I know the answer to that. Thank you. Anybody else?
Okay, we go to the movies.
You gonna go to the movies? right?
Yeah.
I've heard Odyssey is a good movie.
What is it?